Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is about that time. Keep your hands up and keep your head on a swivel. The Haymakers and Submissions podcast is here. We woke up and chose violence today. Stick and stay for combat sports talk at its finest, coming your way now. Welcome, everybody, to Haymakers and Submissions podcast. My name is Drew. Joined by my partner, Chops, here. Chops, how you doing? Oh, we got you on mute, Chops.
Oh, my bad. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, man. I'm doing well, man. It was cold down here in Atlanta today, man. It was cold. I mean, it was in the 40s, where last week, literally, it was in the 70s. And I'm, again, Pittsburgh boy, born and raised in Pittsburgh, Western PA. I can't do the cold like I used to. So this was wrong. And it rained today, This was brutal, man. It was brutal for me, this weather. And it's supposed to rain and be mid 40s to low 50s for the foreseeable forecast, 5 to 7 days, and I'm dreading it, brother. I'm dreading it.
Sounds like a good weekend to sit in and watch some combat sports, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, man, without question.
Well, you'll have to forgive me. I don't have a ton of empathy or sympathy for you because we're gonna get about 6 to 8 inches of snow here in Detroit. And oh, by the way, a little bit of freezing rain before that, just to make it nice and nasty out.
Man. Well. Yeah. You know, part of the another podcast I do, the Original Sports Podcast, the mother station podcast of this, where we broke it off to, a lot of guys are from Maryland, and we're doing our podcast last night, and they're talking about school was off today because they were getting snow. I'm like, I had no idea. I know my parents still live in Pennsylvania, so I I'm always looking at the weather, see what's going on. Both of my parents are retired, so I'm trying to get them down here as much as possible. But I hadn't looked it up north weather in a while. In a couple of days. So I had no idea you guys in Pennsylvania, Detroit, I didn't know you guys were getting that sort of snow.
Yeah.
Man, and you guys can keep it. Normally my parents, it's cold up here. I'll see it's cold, and it could be snowing up there, and it may only be 50 down here, but that's a lot better than snow up in Pennsylvania. So I'll send them a quick video, sun is shining. I'll show them somebody walking around with like jacket on, maybe some shorts. Like, I don't know why you're staying in the cold weather. I have no idea why they do it. I don't know, man. But I'm good, man. We got, like I said, got a lot of combat sports going on this week, so I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
Let's jump into it, man. We got some good boxing coming up, and we got our guy Keyshawn Davis taking on Dennis Berinchyk for the WBO lightweight championship, the 135-pound class. Chops, I know we like Davis. Berinchyks a very good fighter as well. We saw him recently. Let's talk about this one in more detail. Right, I mean, both are undefeated fighters. Right now Davis is the number 1 contender for the WO and the number 5 Ring Magazine lightweight. Berinchyks the champion. I believe he's number 6 in Ring Magazine, believe it or not. But let's break this one down and talk about our thoughts on this one. How you liking Berinchyk in this one so far?
Okay, well, before we get into the actual breakdown of the fight and the fights and the fighters, these guys, there's bad blood here.
Yeah, I saw that.
Before weeks ago, whatever it was, your boy Davis snatches the belt from Berinchyk like, that's mine, give it to me. You see it a lot, and it's a tactic. I get it. But just trying to, create more hatred, more blood, whatever have you. And then I don't know if you saw Berinchyk. Davis is accusing him. Don't know where it came from, but Berinchyk is accusing him of sending like a crate of watermelons and bananas to him. You know what I mean? Now, of course, Berinchyk says, when Dave says that he wrote a letter to me in English, he said, man, I don't even speak English, so why would I write it? You know what I mean? So I don't know about that. And then he said they signed it basically and sent 2 businesswomen. That's what Berinchyk called Davis. So Davis is saying, that's you sent it, that, whatever have you. I don't know if Davis sent it. You can never blame a fighter without, you don't until it's proven, it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So we can't, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing though, man, on that aspect, before we get into the actual in-ring and the measurables, I'm interested to see how Davis handles that. And my reason is because you grabbed his belt. Right, you grabbed his belt, so there's a little emotion there. Maybe it was a tactic, whatever have you. Now, you get this. You get this, and I don't know how it's made feel. To be honest with you, in watching Davis check Berinchyk and accuse him of this and come to him with this, he was quite reserved. You know what I mean? I understand Black youth. He may have seen a lot of racism in his day. I don't know. You know what I mean? But having said that, also in the same token, doesn't mean you all grow it. And at this level, I'm a professional and I want you to be professional. I would have he just didn't, again, you don't know how one man will react in a situation, but he just didn't, his level of pissed offivity, I don't know, pissed offness, whatever you want to say, he just wasn't there for me. It wasn't, it bothered him, but he didn't seem angry, which could be good if you're great if you're a fighter because you have the anger and you know how to bottle it up, so you don't let that anger and that fire consume you, because that's your worst, that's your biggest enemy. You know what I mean? But if Berinchyk and his team sent it, hey, it's boxing. Is it dirty? Is it low class? Yeah, but I get you're trying to get a guy off of his, you know what I mean? And he's foreign, so I don't know what his views are on racism. I don't know, and I'm not saying he did it, but I understand when some of these guys say to each other this, that, and the third, whatever have you, in boxing and MMA and fights to take it there. You're doing what you can to get the guy upset. Now, my thing is, even these guys that talk all the time and as soon as the fight's over, they hug. There was no ill will towards it, but you said it. I don't get over things that easy. And if it was business, you should have been able to punch me in my face, and I'll punch you in your face because this is what we do. I don't need locker room material to get hyped to fight you. You know what I mean? So if Berinchyk did this, I get it. I understand it. You do what you do to get into someone's head. I don't condone it. I think that's sort of like attacking someone's family, someone's wife, racism. That's ridiculous. Someone's personal, like that to me that's way out of bounds, way out of bounds. So I understand him trying to get in his head to get that anger to make him go crazy and want to come out, whatever have you. Now, also in the same token, and I know I'm rambling, but did you see Davis say he was going for a first-round knockout? Now, he said he wanted a first-round knockout against Berinchyk. That's not his style.
No.
So he grabs the belt. You don't normally see him like that. And just when I'm saying act out of character that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He says he's going for the first-round knockout. So we'll see. And all that, getting that box, blaming Berinchyk. If Berinchyk did it, does he know? Does he not know? He's grabbing for the belt, going for the first-round knockout. This is not the normal Davis we see. This is not the normal Davis and behavior that we see. So I'm interested to see how this plays out in that aspect.
Yeah, and we saw this BS from Ryan Garcia, but it was from Ryan Garcia. We
yes.
So it's kind of like, do I trust the politician that's smiling at me, telling me it's going to be okay, or the politician that's blatantly lying to me? I mean, at least I know you're lying because I know.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And I mean, honestly, it's like, why if the more folks keep going this route, it's never going to go away. And it's like, I don't like it. I have no respect for it at all. I don't care if it's a tactic on one side or the other. Doesn't matter. It's BS. Get in there and fight.
Yeah.
You can cut a person down 97 other ways. You don't, like you said, there's lines you don't need to cross those lines, and it happens, unfortunately, still. Right.
Correct. And I'll be honest with you, man. There probably was, and with our boxing history and our library of knowledge in our mental library, maybe you can remember more. But even back I go back to like 50s and the 60s, because there probably was in the 40s. Jack Johnson, he was arrested for even taking a white woman across state lines. So there was racism. We had that. But I don't remember a whole lot of, well, they didn't have the big press conference back then. But even when like Ali in the 60s and 70s, I don't remember a whole lot of racism between the fighters as they call each other names. I remember Ali getting disrespect by them not calling him Ali, and I understand there were white fans going for the white fighters, but I don't remember where in blatant interviews or there was this type of racism. I don't remember it. You know what I mean? But I'm not saying it didn't happen. I just can't recall any right now.
I mean, Ali went after Frazier.
Yes. Yeah. Floyd Patterson refused to call him Muhammad. You know what I mean? So whatever have you, Sonny, listen, there was other guys that refused to call him Muhammad, but I don't remember, Chuck Webner, who fought different guys. I don't remember him saying, this guy, black guy, a monkey. I don't remember any of that.
No.
Not saying it didn't happen, but I just don't remember it. You know what I'm saying?
It was media. I mean, heck, look at Cooney versus Holmes. I'll never forget that. I mean, I'm 7 years old. And I'm like, what do you mean Great White Hope? What is that?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, now.
Yes, yeah. We got that a lot. We had that, the Great White Hope, the Great White Hike. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 7 years old. And I'm still rolling my eyes. Then I'm just like, Larry Holmes going to kick his ass. Now he did, and he fought him pretty well. But he did.
Oh yeah, Cooney could give as good as he got. He'd give as good as.
But I was just like, no, come on, man. It's disgusting. We don't have to go there. I hate it, but I guess it's the world we live in, unfortunately.
Absolutely, it really is, man. It really is. But okay, now let's actually get to why the people are tuning in. Okay, so you got Berinchyk, 36.
Yeah.
And again, please forgive my ignorance, but he's like the Ukraine fighter, like the Lomo. I see his flag up there. That's the same color Lomo flies. Usyk, these sort of fighters. Okay. And when I say these sort of fighters who were older, don't have a great amount of experience and professional.
Yeah.
I think Berinchyk had like 300, 350, somewhere like that, amateur fights. I think so. So when they come in, they're experienced. They're not pro experience because we already went through this. The pro game is different from the amateur game, but they're not used to having punches thrown at them, or they're not foreign to having punches thrown at them, should I say. So you got Berinchyk at 36, Davis at 25. To me, the number one thing that stands out, speed. I just think Davis' speed is going to really, really, really play a difference in this one. Really play a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do like, though, 119-0, 112-0. They're ready to do it. They're ready to do it. You know what I mean? Berinchyk is up in there in age. 36, man. I say to me, 33 is about that you're starting to red line on your prime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
So some guys are just great and can go past it, but about 33, you're about where you want to be. And at that point, you should have held multiple belts or been a fighter, a big name, whatever have you. Berinchyk is gritty and he's tough, but I don't call him a big. When you're thinking Berinchyk, you think, Berinchyk can bang. You're not thinking the same way you do Tank. You're not thinking the same way. Like when you think of Berinchyk, you're not putting it in money and dollars wise the same way you would have Garcia or Haney. You know what I mean? You go Shakur, just the way those guys, but he can stand in there with any of those guys. You know what I'm saying? So, but with that, man, the difference in age, first thing I'm going for is speed, just the speed. That's what I'm going for. So we'll see it on that. But also, don't forget, Berinchyk is also he only had one fight, but he's also done bare knuckles. So he likes to bang. He's not going to be hard to find. He is not going to be hard to find. So we'll see. What sticks out to you immediately?
Well, and you hit speed for sure. Number one, Davis has him there. Now Berinchyks a pretty, he likes to go in and out. He's aggressive. But again, I would favor that, except for the fact when you look at neither one of them really has. I mean, they've got KOs obviously, but I don't look at either fighter as a knockout artist, like you said, not like Tank or any guy like that. I mean,
no,
you're not looking for that one shot. I mean, these guys, can they manufacture a knockout? Obviously, yes, but it doesn't happen every time they go out there. So I think Davis will frustrate Berinchyk. I think if anything, Berinchyk might get a little impatient maybe in the middle of the late rounds and maybe make a mistake. I don't know if he's ever been in that position before, to be honest with you, where he's been, kind of behind on the cards late in the fight. I think he will be against Davis. So, but I think Davis, but again, now you bring in the scenario with the care package that got sent or whatever. What does that do in Davis's mind? I don't know. I mean, you got to be if it was sent to him, you got to be a pretty mentally tough person to block that out and take care of business.
Yes. Now, and here, and I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off because that brings two things. Number one, I was just looking up because I was thinking the same thing as you. Neither one is like a big puncher knockout guy, but in his 12 wins, 8 of his wins are KOs for Davis. That's more than 50%. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So now having said that, now, and you're right about how Davis. Now, I did hear Davis say something at the press conference that was like, "Whoa," he told the interpreter and the manager or the corner guy, whomever it was, for Berinchyk, I'm gonna kick both y'all asses. Come whatever. That guy's not in the fight. It's just Berinchyk. So when he said both y'all or you guys, that was like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So and you're right, you have to, but also on the same token, as speaking, as a black man, you can't just go crazy every time someone utters a racial slur to you. You can't. You know what I mean? Now, Davis is only 25. I'm over 50. It's different. We're different generations. Whereas I did hear it more often. And it was, when I was growing up, it was not what you're called, what you answer to. Now, don't get it twisted. We'd still throw those hands if we got called that in certain situations. Mm-hmm. But there was also certain situations you had to let it slide because bigger things. And we react to that, then you're labeled right into the angry black man. So Davis has to play that well, and he can't let it consume him. I just hope he was talking trash when he said, I'm going for the first round knockout. That's not you. And his power is not, so it's not the Tyson power, right? It wasn't the Foreman power. It was the speed and accumulation of punches over rounds to me. You know what I mean? So don't go out and go for the first round knockout. First off, there's an adage in saying, don't go out and blow your wad. You know what I mean? And secondly, Berinchyk been in some bangers. He's been in some bangers. Hell, his last fight with Navarrete was there. You could have fought that in a phone booth. Berinchyk didn't back up. He didn't waver. Yeah. He didn't waver. You know what I mean? So I'm interested to see that. You know what I mean? So, but now let me ask you a question. Both start with Davis and then go to Berinchyk, but answer for both.
Okay.
What type of fighters are these guys? When I say, if somebody says, I've never seen either of these guys fight, explain Keyshawn Davis style to me, then explain Berinchyk to me.
Davis is, in my view, Davis is a boxer, but he also, he's willing to engage, but he's going to dictate the pace. He's a pace setter and a boxer, in my view, and he's very good at it. Like you said, that's the speed element. When you have that speed and that technique, you can do that. Where Berinchyk, he's going to stalk, more of a stalker. He does like he likes to lunge, and I know he likes to throw that jab or even the cross. And he'll kind of lead with his face a little bit, which is kind of strange. He's an orthodox fighter. He does that a little bit when he goes low. But Berinchyk, like you said, a banger versus a boxer at Davis is. So it's a definitely, the styles match up well, I think. In essence, to me, Berinchyk needs to be a more of a counter puncher in this fight if he's going to be successful. But we'll see. But I think that's what folks are going to see. It's not going to be two styles where you have two boxers or two guys that like to be on their horse all the time. Then you're going to see a dance contest for 12 or 10 rounds or 12 rounds. But in this case, their styles I think match up very well. But they are a contrast in styles. And yes, there's a 10-year age difference, and they're both orthodox fighters. So it's an interesting fight.
Yeah. Now, I will be honest with you, right? Because I was thinking about this, okay? Pedraza, Lemos, pretty equivalent to Berinchyk. And I would say Pedraza more than Lemos because Lemos throws punches and bunches, where Berinchyk is a lot like Lomo, a lot like Usyk, where they'll get in, and they'll pick their punches, but they're not going anywhere. When I say they're not going anywhere, they're there to fight you. Like you said, he's going to stand in front of you. So I'm going to say Pedraza is the closest to Berinchyk that your boy has ever fought. And he did get him out there in 6. Now, your boy Lemos wasn't what he expected. He was not himself. He didn't look like himself. And you can attribute that to Davis, or guy was just off. I don't know. Yeah. But he wasn't himself when he fought Davis because Davis took him out in 2, and it wasn't even close in the first one. So to me, like you said, with the speed, the boxer, the punching combination, and with speed comes power. Yeah. Because a lot of times there's those punches you don't see that get you. You know what I mean? And even though they say Berinchyk is listed as orthodox, he'll switch back from orthodox to southpaw, orthodox to southpaw. And you know the old saying, if you're going with 2 different styles, you don't have one. You know what I'm saying? Because most boxers don't do that. So I do love the fact he's a fighter. He's there too. He just loves to fight. To hell, you'll see a lot of UFC guys and boxers go to bare knuckle after they've made their money in their sport. Berinchyk did it in the middle while he's still active in boxing. He went to bare knuckle. Yeah. He could have gotten a major cut in bare knuckle that would have shifted everything and could have scar tissue. You know what I'm saying? But he chose to do it. So we know he's a gamer. We know he's a banger. We know he is there to fight. We know that. Yeah. But to me, man, I am going with Davis. And I'll be honest with you. What is this? A 12-rounder? Because it's a 12-rounder.
Yep.
If he can get Berinchyk out of there, it won't be before the ninth. It won't be before the ninth. And the only reason I'm saying he doesn't get Berinchyk out of there, I've never even really seen him hurt. Navarrete even caught Berinchyk a couple times hurt. Now, again, Berinchyk could probably see him because he knew what type of fighter Navarrete was. But we'll see, man. But I'm going to go with Davis, but I'm going to go with Davis late. Maybe even in championship rounds, but I'm going to go with Davis late.
That's a huge signature win for Berinchyk too.
Yeah.
I mean, Navarrete's a badass. I like Davis in a unanimous decision. I think it's going to go to distance. I would say 116, 112 scorecard probably makes sense. 8 to 4 rounds. I think he's just gonna. I think early on it's going to be a close fight. I think he'll start to pull away in the middle rounds, and then the last 3, the championship rounds. I just don't see Davis losing this fight.
Indeed, that is why you're going unanimous decision. I'm going late. But we're okay. So we're basically on the same path, except you got to go to decision. I got him getting him late. And the reason is because I see Berinchyk getting frustrated.
That's what I was
thinking. See him getting frustrated late and leaving a hole or two that Davis can expose. Now, and here's why I'm suspect of even getting that late finish, because he's never been knocked out before. And the way he fights, he can drain and sap some of your energy. So does he zap some of Davis's speed? Does he zap and pull some of his power, which comes from that speed? So even in the late rounds, Davis sees it, but can he get to it? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm interested to see, because to me, I don't know if he as in Davis wants to be flat-footed and fight this way he wants to fight Berinchyk from round 1. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to get on your bike a little bit. So from getting on your bike, having a guy coming at you, have to eat some punches and, and have your guard up, whatever have you. I want to see how Davis does this. You know what I mean? And again, Pedroza, and he took him out in the 6th. But the age is the thing that gets me, because Berinchyk he's at 36. Father Time undefeated. You know what I mean? Mother Nature don't lose. So
it's true.
He's a good fighter, and that's what I'm calling him, a fighter in Berinchyk. Just too many different things inside, age being the first. Age is just age, and with that, the speed lack is what I'm saying is going to be his downfall.
Yeah, we're definitely in accord on this one. It's going to be a hell of a fight.
Woo, yeah, buddy. Yeah, but now, real quick, Davis gets the win, okay? Either or, but I'm going Davis. Say Davis gets the win. Where does he go? Because you still got other guys at 130, 135 that you can bang with. You know what I mean? Who's next for Davis if he gets this win?
Well, let's see.
Because I can tell you who I'd like to see. And I'm gonna throw. Okay, so let me throw a couple names out.
Who do you got?
Okay, I'll throw these couple names out and let me see who you got. Of course, you got Tank. Him and Tank been going. Okay, you got Tank. You could get Lomo, and if he beats Berinchyk, does Lomo say, "I defend my boy, I defend my partner"? You know what I mean? Does he come back for revenge? You got Shakur. Now there's Tank, Shakur, whatever. But now maybe Shakur is like, Davis is an up-and-coming hot name. I might be able to get some paper from this. He's not a knockout guy. That could be interesting. And then you still got Zepeda.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got 4 guys right there that could be nice names for Davis. Nice names for Davis. You know what I mean? If he wins, of all those, who do you like? What 2 fights do you like, and why?
I think Tank's the one that stands out, obviously, but I don't think that's the one that's going to happen. I think it comes down to Stevenson and Zepeda. And I think it'll be Zepeda because they're going to make them both earn it. Okay,
so let me ask you this. You don't think Tank, because now you just don't think Davis has the name, or he needs to win a spectacular fight? But you brought it up.
Tank's waiting. I mean, he's going to fight Roach in March, but okay, I don't know what Tank's waiting for. I don't know who he really.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, because you brought it up a couple episodes ago. Tank can't keep ducking everybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And not saying that he is, but he wants the big name fights. But you can't keep saying nobody's enough for me, because at some point you and Shakur aren't going down. You don't want Teofimo. You know what I'm saying? You're not looking, Lomo said, I'm not ready for you. And Lomo had earned that. If you want to back, cool, do your thing. So we got to see where Lomo's coming. But if Davis wins in spectacular fashion, or even gets to win, forget about spectacular fashion. He gets the win, and he starts calling out Tank. Because like you said, Tank and Thing. Now, I'm not sure when Shakur fights in February. He fights on the 22nd, doesn't he?
We'll cover that next week.
Yes. So you have Tank fighting in March, but you got Shakur fighting next week. So in the next 30 calendar days, 45 calendar days, all three of these guys will have fought. So late 2025, you can set about for two of these guys, 2 to 3.
Absolutely.
Something got to give. Something.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, if I'm Loma and Davis does win, that is interesting. Because if I'm Loma, I think I can beat Davis.
Yeah. Not trying to be funny. Well, depends how he beats Berinchyk to me. But Lomo has earned the right to believe he can fight whomever he wants, really, to me. So that would be a good one. And there's another one I'm going to bring up later, another fighter later. Thoughts I can think about Davis, and we'll get into that here, after we get through some other ones. But that'll be good. That's what I was with. Where does this go if Davis gets the gets the win? And I'm not even saying impressively. I was saying it first with impressive fashion, but now that'll put you 13-0. If you're willing to call out some bigger names, let's rock. You know what I mean? Because those guys I named, they're all ranked higher in most IBF, WBO, and all those than Berinchyk and Davis. So it's a step up for both of those guys. You know what I mean? In names. So we'll see. Well, I'm interested to see that.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. We've got a heavyweight contest. My guy, Jared Big Baby Anderson against Marios Kollias.
Yeah, man.
It's going to be an interesting fight. First of all, let's talk about how important this is for Big Baby. We know he has to win this fight, especially after what McCauley did to him last time.
Yeah.
But how is this a make or break fight for his career in your view?
It shouldn't be. And I say that because he's only 25. Yep. He'd have 2 losses. If he got back on the grind, you know what I'm saying? Back on the grind. Because if you look at you, you don't have to put them out, right? But say your top 5 fighters of all time. Most of them, not all of them, because you may have Mayweather and there has no losses. But if you have most of those other guys have 2 or 3 losses, regardless of where they fell in their thing, but they have 2 or 3 losses, if not more, whatever have you. You know what I'm saying? So at 25 and you have 2 losses, you can rebound from that. However, as you notice, I said your top 5 because they'd all be older fighters. There was a different mindset then than there is today. A lot of these guys now, they talk about confidence. You and I are big football guys. And they'll say, if you sit a rookie, you'll destroy his confidence. You've been competing your entire life to get to this point. Confidence and competition should not even be in the same sense. You know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. I digress. So I believe, yes, even if he loses, this is the question you asked, even if he loses, he should be able to rebound. Mentally, can he? I don't know. But I do like what his team has done by the opponent they've selected.
Yeah. And I'm going to kind of piggyback on that, but I'm going to say this. I mean, first of all, I think they've handpicked this opponent. However, he's got to win impressively. If he doesn't win impressively, but let's say it goes the distance. Good luck getting a big name fight in the next year and a half at least. You're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to fight some other guys, and you're gonna have to win impress. You're gonna figure it out. You brought up guys that everybody's lost some fights. I look at Vladimir Klitschko.
Okay.
He lost to Corey Sanders, Layman Brewster, and I forget the third fight that he lost. But at the end of the day, I was watching him and I'm like, man, this guy, he's a physical specimen. He hits like a sledgehammer, but he doesn't stop punching. By the 3rd round, he's gassed.
Yeah.
That's why he was losing. Emmanuel Stewart takes him under his wing. All of a sudden, this guy's a monster, and he's efficient with his punches. He's not punching himself tired, and he's beating the hell out of everybody for another 6-7 years before he finally ran to Fury. And I think Father Time got him there more than anything. So Anderson's 25. Yeah, he's young, but this is a fight he can't lose. A loss here, yeah, it's only 2 losses, but man, you're fighting a guy who's, I mean, my goodness, he's 33 years old and he's already got 3 losses and a draw on his record. I mean, he hasn't, I mean, I'm not very familiar with him. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
You got to win this fight impressively. On ESPN again, you got to win impressively.
Yeah. Here's the thing. And normally I would agree with you. However, like I said, he's only 25.
Yep.
Name your most other guys you have. Even if you don't have them in the top 10, name your top 10. Most of those guys are 35 or older. You know what I mean? Or at least 32 or older. So because of his age, unless there's a couple big time prospects coming up that we don't know about or we just haven't heard of, but because of his age, I think that doesn't put him out to pasture. But you hit on something. But you hit on something when you said good luck getting a big money fight for the next year, to at least next 2 years, because you've got to earn your way back. If you get knocked out by Bacoli, or you lose to Bacoli, no shame there. Bacoli's a heavy puncher, this, that, whatever have you. You stand in front of him, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
But like you said, this guy's 33. He does have 3 losses. Now, in his 12 wins, he has 10 KOs. Not a whole lot of competition. No disrespect to those guys, whatever have you. But the man is 6'3", 250, 260. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So he throws punches. He throws punches, right? So having said that, his team did him justice by picking this guy, because this guy likes to stand in there and bang. Big Baby can frustrate him with the jab and get in there and work on some things. And when I say work on some things, work on foot movement, work on head movement. Don't treat this like a sparring session, but also don't try to get in your head, I need to get him out of here because I want people to see I can. If you need to work on some things, work on your jab, make it hurt. Work on body work, work on body, work on closing that real estate, work on things that you need to stay in your fight plan. And if you need to punish him for 2 or 3 rounds, being a clear-cut victor in 2 or 3 rounds before you get to knockout, so be it. Don't go out in that first round and try for it. Now, if it comes, it comes. You know what I mean? But like, remember your boy Deontay Wilder, bow and arrow punch, you say the way pull back. He was going for the knockout early every time. I mean, and then when fighters start to realize, if I use my jab and I box, I can take him in deeper water. I have a better chance. You know what I mean? So don't go for the knockout. You know what I mean? Even when Tyson first started, he threw punches and bunches. He worked in behind a jab and he threw combinations. The knockouts came because he was throwing so many punches and he was throwing them hard. Yeah. Where, like I said, no disrespect, but Wilder was throwing that one killer overhand right, looking for the knockout. So, Big Baby, you can't go in looking for the one-hitter quitter to try to finish this guy. Work in behind your jab, work some body, make him earn it. You know what I mean? Let him know, let people know, I got beat by Bacoli. That is behind me. You got to have the mindset of a cornerback. You know what I mean? You got to have a short memory. Yes. And get out there. This guy was hand picked for you. So you need to go and do what you need to do, young fella.
I want to see Big Baby. He's a great fighter. I still am a big fan. I want him to do well. I want to see him win impressively because I want to get then I think if he wins impressively here, people are going to go with that narrative you just said. Bacoli, there's no shame in losing to him. He's a big, strong fighter. He's a top 5 contender now, more than likely, when it's all.
Oh yeah.
But Big, he just is a little too loose and relaxed in there. And I know it's kind of his persona. That's great for the cameras in the ring walk. But when you're in the ring, I want to see a little more tenseness, a little more guard.
That switch has to come on.
Yes.
That switch has to come on. And here's about, and I don't have a problem with the looseness, but where I do have a problem with the looseness is you're not throwing punches with that killer intention. You're not coming in, like you said, I want to see good defense. You can have good defense and look like James Toney. James Toney never looked frazzled to me. Hell, even as I'm not a huge fan of Mayweather, Mayweather never looked frazzled. He was always calm. He stayed there. He wasn't doing extra move. He wasn't moving 5 inches to dodge a punch when 2 inches would do. Mm-hmm. But your boy is coming in lax. But when he's missing, he's not making you pay for that punch you missed. He's not making you pay for stepping 3 inches further than you should have stepped, and your feet are out of place. So that's where I see where you're going with. Mm-hmm. He's too lackadaisical. That's where I start to have a problem with it.
I guess the word I'd be looking for, I want to see a little more twitch.
Yeah. I got you.
but he's young enough and strong enough. They got to. You know, I don't know who his trainer is. I don't know who's in this corner, but to me, he needs to be a very focused and very not so much angry, but very intense fighter. He's got to have more of a killer instinct in there.
Absolutely.
Guy's strong enough to put anybody's lights out, but to me, we got to see that. But how do you see this one shaking out?
Honestly, man, I'm going with Big Baby, and I'm going with him by knockout. Oh man, if he doesn't get the knockout, it's going to be bad. And when I say bad, I hate to say that because it's going to, like you said, it'll lead to you're back in if you don't look good. And I guess you could say, you could take him the distance, but he got 17 wins, 15 knockouts. You know what I'm saying? So and you were KO'd by Bakoli. So I'm hoping mentally he's not still behind the curtains on that one. I hope he can put it behind him. I hope he gets hit with a great shot. I'm still here. And he doesn't go any gunshot. But I'm going to go with Big Baby, and I'm going to go Big Baby 6 round.
I got him going. I got a TKO in 5. I think he'll get a stoppage. I don't think he's going to put his lights out, but I think he's going to beat the heck out of him. Might put him down a couple of times too, but I think he'll get a stoppage.
And normally, and I know Big Baby, his wins have normally been earlier stoppages. I get that. Only reason I was going 6 and not 4 or 5 is because I want to see how he comes out. Does he take a round or two just to get past it? I hope he doesn't have the yips. You know, the old baseball, he got the. I hope he doesn't have the yips, and I'm hoping he moves on and does his thing.
Yeah, I hear you. It's gonna be a good one too. Definitely looking forward to that one. Let's take a look at the next fight we got here: Xander Zayas against Slawa Spomer. 2 undefeated fighters, Chops, and it's gonna be fun. This is in New York City.
Yeah,
same card. Junior middleweight co-feature. So let's talk about this one a little bit. These are, the age sticks out right away to me. Spomer is 32 and Zayas is 22.
Yeah, dude. And honestly, I get you. And 32, if these were, and I hate to say this because Spomer's in there. He's a banger, right? But Spanger's a huge underdog. At last I saw it, Zayas was minus 850. Because I've seen Xander fight in quite a few fights. And you guys, if you fans, if you've not seen Xander fight, if he takes Spomer out early, don't think it's just because Spomer, however you pronounce his name, is a tomato can, because he's not. Xander Zayas comes in against everybody. Xander Zayas throws punches and bunches. He's fast. He does have that twitch. He loves to work the body. Like I said, last I saw it, he was a minus 850. And I understand, depending on who you're going with, Las Vegas line, Vegas, book, Bet Kings, whoever you got, could have different odds. But he's a big favorite. Let some extra monies come in. But I say he's a big favorite. And I honestly don't think it's going to go long. My question is, go ahead and say what you want to say, because I got to ask you a question after this, about future for Zayas.
Yeah, I like Zayas in this fight. Spomer, like I said, he's 20-0 with 11 KOs. Zayas 20-0 with 12 kills. So they're almost identical records. But obviously, he's 22 versus 32. But yeah, Zayas is an exciting young fighter. I look for him to get a late stoppage here. I'm looking in about the 10th round. I think he's going to get a stoppage in this fight. I think it's going to be a really exciting fight. I think it's going to be that's the one you really want to make sure you watch on this card. Other than obvious.
Okay. You think it's going to be what the old timers say, you really think it's going to be a slobber knocker?
I do. I really do. I think Spomer's going to show out, but I think it's going to be a really, really exciting fight. Maybe I'm wrong. Zayas, I think, is going to win for sure, but I think it's going to go a little longer than maybe people think.
Now, on this one, I'm going to go with Zayas, and I'm going to go with Zayas in round 5, and I know he didn't have a whole lot of knockouts. Spomer is the second time in his 20 fights he's ever fought out of Germany. So Germany's not a hotbed where you want to go for a lot of competition in boxing. Yeah. So I don't know the level of competition he's fought. Zayas has had some better names on his date book and who he's danced with. So I'm going to go with Zayas just because of his style, the bigger lights, on ESPN again. I'm going to go with Zayas just because I think the environment is going to be a little too much for Spomer. I think the speed, the determination, and the power that Zayas is coming with, I'm going with Zayas in 5, 6 most. I'm going with 5. I'm going in 5.
I can see that happening. I can see that happening. Definitely. I mean, like I said, I think Xander Zayas definitely is an exciting fighter.
Oh, he is without question.
And I know you wanted to talk about what we maybe see next for him.
Okay, yes. Okay, now, again, he's 22, right? He's 22. And I purposely didn't want to let you know what fighters I was going to throw out because I truly want to see your reaction in time so I can see the wheels clicking as who you like to see him bang with. Okay, this is 154. Bud is trying to step up. Bud is not looking for that 154 money. He's a professional angler. He's going for the big fish.
Yeah.
So you still have Fundora, who's a champion 154, right?
Yep.
You got Berinchyk, however you pronounce his name, right? You got Israel Madrimov, who thing just beat him, moved up to Crawford just beat him.
Yeah.
Tim Zhu, who lost to Fundora, lost to Madrimov, but that wasn't Madrimov he lost to Zhu, was it?
I'm not sure off the top.
He lost. But I still like to see Tim Zhu because Tim Zhu stands in front of you and bangs. So I'd like to see him and Xander go. And then you still got Jesus Ramos. So you got all those guys at 154 that Xander could fight. Because Xander, like you said, he's only 22. Doesn't have a whole lot of knockout power, but he's not running from anybody. He's not going to run from you. He's going to stand there and bang with you. So of those 6 guys I just named off, who would you like to see him fight? We got Fundora, Madrimov, Josh Kelly, Tim Zhu, Jesus Ramos. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Berinchyk, or how you pronounce the name. I apologize.
Madrimov and Ramos definitely stick out to me. Those are the 2 I'd like to see him fight. Now, I'd love to see him get Fundora after his fight, assuming he's going to take care of business. I think that's in April or late March. Not sure. They just finalized that. I'd like to see those 2 get it on at the end of the year, like in October, November, maybe time frame. I don't know. Or it could be the undercard of that Canelo Bud fight that we suppose they're going to see in September.
Man.
I mean, shit, tomorrow will be me on sign.
I know what you mean. I'm not gonna lie to you. Entertainment-wise, I was looking at Zhu and Ramos because those guys will bring it. They'll bring it in.
The reason I didn't say Zhu, I didn't like how he fought in his last fight, obviously, and I'm a little concerned about. I don't think he'd even be in line for that fight, to be honest with you.
And probably not, but he's still up there and ranked decently, is Zhu. But it was crazy because it was like he didn't respect. I don't know why I keep saying Madrimov, but it was like he didn't respect his power and was trying to walk through it. Madrimov was like, "No, brother, these punches hurt." You know what I mean? So and like when he fought Fundora on short notice, that was a fight that he brought. He got a bad cut, but he still brought it. So I figured I'd like to say that Zhu gets back to being himself. You know what I'm saying? And having that. So that's why in Jesus Ramos, I like him. So I'd like to see that one. But here's the thing. Fundora can give you some room. He'll bang, but he can also box.
Yep.
I would like to see Zayas. Is he ready for that yet? Would that be a huge step up in competition? Now, if it's left to the American promoters, I don't know if we'll see that. If your boy Turk gets into it, it's hard to see who he'd want to put Xander Zayas in front of. You know what I mean?
I got one more name for you. What about Charlo?
He's in rest. He's in recess. What's he doing?
I know, but
is he coming out?
I don't know, but he's a name, and maybe he would. Maybe he'd see that as a payday.
Hopefully, that would be good. I'll be honest with you. If we're going to keep it 100, I don't know if that's who Zhu. I don't know if that's who Charlo wants, being this far gone. And when I say this far gone, this far removed, and in recess, has it Murtazalev or what? Murtazalev, that's who he lost to. That's who Murtazalev, right? So having said that, I don't know if Charlo would come back after that, because in his mind, has he even been still getting in ring time, sparring sessions, whatever, since he's in recess? I don't know. Yeah. But if he's going to bring him, if he take the fight, I'd like to think he's in shape and want us to. That wouldn't be a bad name also. just on big dog recess. Since he's a champion recess, I didn't even think about him, and that's just being 100 right there.
Yeah, but I just thought that if he's going to make a comeback, that would be the opportunity. Perhaps, I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah,
a couple more fights we want to cover here.
I know we're running out of time too. Let's, us, we talk all day.
Yeah, we like this young man, Abdullah Mason, taking on Manuel Jaimes. Lightweight fight here. Let's talk about it. And it's on the same card there in New York, and that's on that's Friday on Valentine's Day.
So. Yeah, man. Yeah, and honestly, here's the thing: both young. Manuel 24, Mason 20, and you know me, man. I honestly believe Mason is top 1, 2, 3 at lowest upcoming prospects in any weight class.
Yeah.
16 wins, 14 by KO, southpaw, nice, super sweet combos, nice feet, does everything. His last fight showed me a lot. The way he got dropped, by Vasquez and came back and still got the win. That showed me a lot by that young man. That showed me a lot. Now, Manuel's no joke. 16-2. He got 11 KOs. He's been in there with Raleigh. His last fight, but he didn't win a round. Maybe if you want to give him one, maybe being generous. And then he lost the Tank. You know what I'm saying? So he has experienced bigger names on his resume, bigger names, but he lost to those guys. But on this one, man, like I said, upcoming prospect, Mason is going to be able to find him. Mason's going to be too quick. Mason's going to put that jab in his face, put that jab in his mouth. And I'm going with Mason. I'm going with Mason about 7. Might be earlier because these guys are going to bang, I think. So, but I'm going to go. I'll be surprised if it sees the bell for round 8 to start. I'll be surprised.
Yeah, now I'm right with you. I like Mason in this one. I actually had it going in 4. But what I want to see, though, a very composed Abdullah Mason. And whether that's loose or whatever, I just want to see him composed. I don't want to see him kind of almost, when you see when boxers when it becomes more of that street fight, watching a street fight is much different than watching a boxing match.
Oh, without question.
It's just haymaker. Hey, I don't want to see anything like that from Mason. I want to see a very collective, much like how we see Boots Ennis, just be very surgical and take care of business. I'd like to see that kind of composure in him in this fight. And I think this is a good opportunity for him. This is a quality contender in front of him here. Like you said.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, man. Well, first off, I don't think he'll lose his composure because the way he got dropped by Vasquez twice and he didn't lose his composure, I don't think he will in this one. And as I said, I'd be surprised if it goes. And is it 8 or is it a 6-round fight? Is it a 10 or 6-round fight? I don't even know.
I thought it was 8. But
Mason, he went, I think he went distance twice. He's getting everybody up out of there early, 2nd, 3rd, 4th rounders. So you're probably closer to an earlier stoppage than I am, just the way he fights, just the way he brings it. But either way, I think it's going to be a good one. You know what I mean?
It is an 8-round fight.
Okay. Yeah, I would go with that. You're closer than I am than 4. Like I said, you're right. I don't see it going a distance. And I see, like you said, 4. I'm going to go with Mason. I'll go 5 maybe, but Mason's going to get him up out of there.
It's going to be fun. It's always he's an exciting fighter to watch. People will be seeing his name on the big time card.
Oh yeah. That's what I wanted to say to you. Okay. If he gets this fight, he wins it in spectacular fashion. Does he start calling out, hell, Davis? Say Davis wins, but he can't get Tank, or Davis can't get one of those other guys we talked about.
Whew. That'd be
a hell of a fight. That'd be a hell of a fight. Whew. Anthony Mason and Keyshawn Davis. That would be a great one, if only. Who would you even go with that one?
Oh man. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I would have to do some serious study.
Yes.
I mean, I know them individually, but looking at how the one
styles make fights,
and how they defend that kind of whatever face, I'd like to see that. But oh my goodness, that'd be a great fight.
That would be a good one. That would be a hell of a fight. And go ahead.
For their sake, though, I would rather see that happen in maybe 2 years down the road, because they'll have more fights under their belt and they'll be huge names by then. I think they'd almost get robbed of the big money because this is a huge money fight if you're a boxing fan.
Here's the thing. Yes and no. Yes, you're correct on all that. But with Turk, if he gets into it, and he likes the smaller guys. He does.
Oh yeah.
He could almost force. Now, if Anthony Mason wins in spectacular fashion, of all those guys we named, right? All those guys we named, you had Tank, you had Lomo, you had Lane, Tank, Lomo, Shakur,
Madrimov, Ramos.
Yeah, Ramos, right? Big dude, big dog. Now Madrimov is a little heavier than those guys, but Tank could very well put together a round robin between those six, and he's going to offer money that you can't say no to. So because of Turk, there's a good chance we could see two of those fish in the same pond at one time in the same bowl, getting it on. Because a lot of these guys, if Turk wants to see it happen, I don't think we're going to have to wait for Davis and Shakur that long. If Turk wants to see it happen, I don't think we don't have to wait to see some of these. You know what I'm saying? So you mentioned it about Canelo. He was like, well, I guess I'm going to lose him to Canelo and what's his name? The Paul. And from what I'm hearing, what I've read, I guess Turk was like, dude, seriously, this is what you want your legacy to be? This is your legacy, fighting him? I don't know if that's how Turk broke it down. Turk just said in the third. Turk got in there. Now, as of right now, Canelo and Crawford's back on. You know what I mean? So
it's 10 after 9 on a Wednesday or evening here. So
we'll see what it is by 9:30.
February 12th. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see, brother.
Yeah, we will see. Here we got another fight here. Now this fight's actually happened on Saturday in the UK. Oscar Duarte against Manuel Madueño it's a super lightweight fight. This is gonna be an interesting fight here. I talk about this one.
Man, honestly, they're both straightforward fighters. You know what I mean? So I don't see a whole lot of let's try to keep the distance, pop the jab. You got to work the jab to get in. You know what I mean? Duarte to me has better feet. I think Duarte has faster hands, but it could be a pick 'em depending on what you think. You know what I mean? It's not a hill I'm willing to die on. Duarte has a nice jab, as does Madueño, but I'm going to go with Duarte's a little better. I think Duarte has a little more pop in his punches, a little more pop. You know what I mean? And Duarte, he works tough inside. He's strong inside. So if you can't tell, Madueño's no chump. He's no joke. Mm-hmm. But I'm going with Duarte. He's just too much grit, power, the way they're I don't want to say mirror images of each other, but I'm going to go with Duarte in this one.
Yeah, I like Duarte too. He's got 22 knockouts and 28 of his wins there. Madueño he's got some heavy hands though.
He does.
He's got 28 KOs. He's 31-3 with 28 knockouts. I'm not familiar with his resume per se, but I did see some of his fights and watching and scouting for this. But yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on Duarte. But I think this could be an interesting fight. I think
it's not going to be a walk in the park. And,
no.
Okay. You had just going back. You had thought that you had said Xander, Zayas, and Manuel Jaimes would be a slobber knocker in a war.
Oh, I expect Spomer.
I'm sorry. I expect Duarte and Madueño to be a bigger one and more blood, more leather thrown than Zayas and Spomer. That's me. And I'm going to go Duarte 8. I'm going to go Duarte in 8.
Yeah, I'm in 8. I got it. I had it going 10. Duarte.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be an excellent fight. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be on that level. I think the Zayas Spomer fight might get a little more hype because it's going to be on ESPN, and more people might see.
Oh, they love Zayas. They love Xander Zayas on ESPN. They love him. Yep. So I gotta believe they're promoting that one hard on ESPN. I gotta believe it.
And we got one more. This is actually going to be the lead. The main card.
Saturday night. Yeah.
This is in the UK. Jack Catterall against Barboza Jr. Wow. I mean, Catterall, fun fighter to watch. Talk about Barboza Jr. a little bit.
Honestly, man, 33 years old, 33-0, 11 KOs. So he's not a big time fighter. Now, one thing they have to me in common, they both were in some iffy decisions. Catterall got robbed against Taylor. I think McCombs got the win handed to him when I think Barboza got the win handed to him when he fought McComb. I thought that was iffy. But I don't want to say he's fallen off because it's been some years. It's been a while. But he beat Pedraza. He beat Sasato. Now, again, that was almost 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So possibly, and he's had a win since McComb. So possibly it was just a night off. Boxing. Sports. Some nights you just don't have it. Sometimes the body doesn't do what the mind tells it to. And it is what it is. But he's got decent power. He really does. He's not going to run. But honestly, and he works good from range because he doesn't smother you. You know what I mean? He's not in you trying to work the body hard. He'll get in there when he gets in there. He doesn't try to make a beeline to eat up that real estate. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So to me, he's 5'9", Catterall's 5'7". He's going to have a little bit. He's going to have some whatever reach advantage, and he does have a nice jab too. He has a nice jab, but I think he's going to end up getting frustrated because Catterall's not a great boxer, but he's a fighter. He's game. You know what I mean? He doesn't do anything great, but he does a lot of stuff good and pretty well. You know what I mean? So, But I'm going to go with Barboza fighting valiantly, but I'm going to go with Catterall getting a win. I'm going to go with Catterall getting a win late.
Okay, you got Catterall getting a win. Yeah. I got Catterall getting a decision. It'll be probably a lot more of a lopsided one, but I think it's going to be an entertaining fight. I think Barboza, like you say, he's game. He's gonna bring the fight. But Catterall, I very much respect how he fights. He's a very, very fast fighter. He throws a lot of flurries. He just doesn't have a lot of pop. So you're not gonna get a knockout. Although you've got it going, you've got him getting him late. So you got a knockout or a TKO, just a stoppage.
Yeah, TKO. And honestly, and I'm like I said, man, I'm reaching at that. I'm reaching, but it's in the UK. His people, he might be charged a little bit more. But I think your boy Barboza is just going to get a tad bit frustrated because I'm not finding him. And your boy Catterall doesn't hit hard. He doesn't hit hard. But I think Barboza is just going to end up getting frustrated and just by the barrage of punches, ref says, you know what, you've lost enough rounds. That's it. That's it. No, I don't see it a 1, 2, 3 knockout or he just destroyed. No, I don't see it like that. I don't see either one walking away with a nasty looking face. You know what I mean? But I'm just going to go with Catterall because I think he's going to be able to frustrate Barboza and get Barboza to see things he's never seen. Or, wow, you, Catterall, you're not extremely lightning fast. You're not a heavy puncher. You're not a big guy. I don't have a hard time getting in. When I want to, I can get in. But you're harder to hit than I thought. And you're scrappier than I thought. I think those will be the differences in what frustrates Barboza. And he's going to be hearing a lot of chants for Catterall. And anytime Catterall gets a flurry or hits something, he's going to hear the fans go crazy. He's going to know that's swaying the judges. And I think his corner's going to get to him at some point. You got to do something you wouldn't normally do so we can get this win and get up out of here. Because he's not getting a decision in the UK against Catterall unless he's going to have to punish him, Drew. Punish him.
Yeah, and I don't see that happening.
No. Well, what's your take on it, right quick?
I see it all the way with the frustration piece. I just think Catterall is just gonna at times make him look a little slow because he's just gonna quick maybe a 4-punch flurry and back right out like nothing. He's gonna score like mad. I don't think he's gonna do a ton of damage. I think he's gonna score a lot. That's how.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Real quick before we get up out of here, Catterall 31, not known as an exciting fighter, not known as a knockout artist. You got Barboza 33, not a knockout artist. They don't have the future in front of them that, as we talked, Abdullah Mason has. But is there anyone? I'm not trying to be funny. Of course, they'll fight again. But is there anyone at light welterweight at the 135 that you'd want to see them fight? Is there anybody you'd want to see them fight?
I'll be honest. Like I said, I respect Catterall's skill level. I don't really.
But there's nobody you're like, oh man, Catterall signed to fight.
I tried when he fought Taylor twice. I watched. I'm just like, okay.
And I'm the same way. That Barboza, you're 33. not well known on the radar. Beating Catterall might give you, oh, he got Catterall, but it's not going to get you a big time pay-per-view. Not going to get you on a big time pay-per-view card. Not in my eyes.
No, I agree with you. Well, hey, we're out of time. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to comment on it as well. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check us out on the ESCN network, Roku channel every Friday night at 10 p.m. He's Chops. I'm Drew. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you for watching the Haymakers and Submissions podcast. You can find us on the ESEN network on the Roku app every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time beginning on October 4th, 2024. Check us out on Twitter X. Our handle is @HaySubPod, capital H, capital S, capital P. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a single episode. Just go to your web browser and type in www.youtube.com/@Haymakers and Submissions podcast, as we will drop content weekly. Whether it's boxing, MMA, or wrestling that gets you fired up, you'll get all you need right here at the Haymakers and Submissions podcast.